I'm a bit struggling. Hang on, I've got too many screens just now. Never mind. Yeah. So this is a project funded by Turing. Starting from there, then obviously the home worker issues and these supply chain issues have been discussed and investigated over a very long time period by many organizations who are also here as speakers. So the Turing project is very specific. It's about the trusted digital identity. And then our project is being chosen as one of the 6 impact projects. Okay, so I'm a Turing Fellow. I'm also a professor at the University of Manchester. The other people, could you please mute yourself because we can hear your discussions. So the Turing project is focusing on how to use this kind of digital infrastructure identity system in a trustworthy manner. So the project itself, the technical projects has got a lot of consideration, including topics such as SSI, privacy, etc. So could I just remind people to mute themselves? Yeah. So our project is one of the few impact projects that focusing on the supply chain, the resilient value chain, and how to reduce the vulnerability of some of the actors. So the team, the project lasted for 9 months. I think for all of you, many of you, I have sent you the project summary. So the team in Manchester University, there are 3 of us, including my students, and a lot of our work that is outside the Turing project, including the machine learning, texture analysis, kind of data mining. And then the Incudus team has got Nick and Nikki, and very much focusing on the introductions of technology. So we have a huge, wonderful ground supporting team in India. So there's Rohan, Rakash, Katrika, Elizabeth, and Garima. I haven't found a picture of Lashmi. Lashmi will be chairing most of today's sessions. So how do we look at impact? And then obviously global manner in terms of supply chain, there are many different characteristics. If we just focus on United Kingdom, so the 2 of the most important supply chains that has got this kind of modern slavery issues are the electronics and garment. So in fact, you can see that on the next slides, China, because of the population and the size of the country and the amount of export that they are doing. So you can see that garment and electronics, they both has got a much bigger source from China. But after China, India is the biggest in terms of value transfer in textile. Okay, so in thinking about how technology can produce an impact, so this is one natural kind of target to start looking into it. But I will say that, for example, if you talk about the worst aspects of human rights, so for example, one of the supply chain that everyone will come to mind will be the fishing, the fishing industry. But I think without going into a lot of detail, I mean, all of you would agree with me that looking at how to solve the fishing supply chain problem is very, very different. Looking at how to solve the textile supply chain issue, or how to relieve the problem. So anyway, we started building our network with Tradecraft Exchange and then Tradecraft in India, and also with the help of Incudus. In the last 9 months, we started to look into the context, including the work done by other NGOs. So as you can see, on this map that, very clearly the red zones is China, India, and surrounding area. And then the gray areas are the reporting country, the country that really have to be due diligence is advised. Okay, so in terms of news, in terms of reputation news and all the text that we can use the machine to read. So these are the blue areas are the source of all sorts of child labors of all sector and all supply chain, not just the textile. So you can see the arrows in the sense that where is the sourcing country and then where is the importing countries. So this is also one of the indicators that we can use in trying to think about the supply chain and then how to do the due diligence and how to check the due diligence matters. So the business and human rights resource centers, if we look at, they already have a lot of detailed information, up-to-date information there. So in the last count, in the Business and Human Rights Center, the clothing and textile, they are in total in their database, there are 273 global brands, and 108 of them actually report to the UK Modern Slavery Act. So we can trace their reports and then we can trace their policy and their attitudes towards human rights and other matters. And we found 51 actually sourced from Delhi, and 73 of them are listed as a trader in the listed trader exchange. And then 6 of them are physically in the FTSE 100. So I think this is all I want to say for now, in the sense that we are trying to tackle, our project is very much the people we survey, the people we talk to are all in Kapasera, so, a classic kind of home worker community, very close to the textile supply chain in New Delhi. So just to cite some big numbers before I pass it on to the second speakers, that we know that the textile industry contribute to 90 billion it's worth 90 billion in India. Could you please mute yourself for those people who just joined? Yeah. There are 45 million people actually directly involved in this particular supply chain. And then 60 million people are associated with it. I think the more important number is to say that the percentage, 85%, which is quite a large percentage, 85% of people are informal worker. So which means that they are not necessarily included in any of the supply chain due diligence, because, in other words, in some other NGOs language, they are calling them the hidden worker. Nobody knows they exist. So this is about 38.2 million people we are talking about. So we know that they have to be in some supply chain somewhere. So this is the reason why we have this work and we have this webinar. Okay, so I will finish my introduction here.